Hi, welcome to the Teamwork Makes Dreamwork workshop. Before we get started, I wanted to introduce you to my team.
I'm Alex Reed, the doer.
I'm Willa Vanessa Capoy, the connector.
I'm Rose Camille Gadia, the challenger.
I'm Jas Costas, the innovator.
I'm Jesse Harper, and there was no names left, so I'm the organizer.
The learning outcomes that we'll explore in our presentation will begin with what is the benefit of working in teams and what makes teams effective? How does team diversity enhance decision key considerations in managing teams? How do teams develop over time? And what are some challenges and best practices for managing and working with multicultural teams? Eula will begin with our first topic.
Thank you, Alex. So today we'll be learning about what is a team and what makes it effective. Team by definition is people organized to function cooperatively as a group, and there are five elements that makes a team function. Firstly, common commitment and purpose, specific performance goals, complementary skills, commitment to how the work gets done, and mutual accountability. So, what is the difference between a team and a group? The team needs to have a shared leadership roles, both individual and mutual accountabilities, and they discuss and make decisions. They also perform real work together and they measure their performance by assessing their collective work products. While group has a focused leader, individual accountabilities on work products, and a group purpose that is the same as the broader organization mission. And there are several types of teams. First is team permanence. It is how long the team will exist. Skill diversity, which means different skills and knowledge of team members, and authority dispersion, that means degree of decision making throughout the team. And these can be categorized as functional, cross functional, and self directed. Functional teams are when they have similar skills and are in the same unit or department. They have a low interdependence, which means when team members by design depend on one another when performing their tasks. They have a high team permanence, low to medium level diversity, and low authority dispersion. Cross functional teams are brought from other teams to help each other. They have a low team permanence, medium to high skill diversity, and medium authority dispersion. While self-directed teams are organized around work processes and tasks are interdependent. They have a high team permanence, medium to high levels of skill diversity, and high authority dispersion. And lastly is a virtual type of team. They work together remotely and they rely solely on technology to collaborate and communicate. They provide flexibility and geographic dispersion and has high team permanence, skill diversity, and authority dispersion depends on objective. So, what makes a team effective? In order for a team to be effective, they should establish urgency, demand performance standards, and direction. Teams work best when they have a compelling reason for being, and it is thus more likely that the teams will be successful and live up to performance expectations. Teams should also be selected for their skill and skill potential, not for their personality. The individuals that have the skill sets needed or the potential to acquire or learn for their piece of project and pay particular attention to first meetings and action. They should spend time upfront thinking about the purpose of the project and the anticipated deliverables you will be producing, and think through the specific type of skills you'll need on the team. Leaders should also be keeping eye on your team level's emotional intelligence. It is very important and will enhance your team's repetition and ability to navigate stakeholder within the organization. You should also be able to set clear rules that addresses attendance, discussion, confidentiality, project approach, and conflict. Collaboration is also one another key concept and method by which teams can work together very successfully. And there are 8 factors for having strong collaboration skills. Signature relationship practices, role models of collaboration among executives, establishment of gift culture in which managers or mentor employees, training and relationship skills, a sense of community, ambidextrous leaders or good at task and people leadership, good use of heritage relationship, and role clarity and talk ambiguity. And we have Jesse for the next topic.
Hi, organizer here again. I'm going to touch on the topic on how diversity enhances decision making and problem solving. Having a diverse team can really boost the quality of decision making and problem solving within an organization. Everyone's heard of or been part of a brainstorming session, having different ideas and perspectives working together to solve a problem. That sounds great in theory, but to really make it work, you need a diverse group where everyone brings their own unique experiences, views, and even biases to create a larger pool of options. For example, if you have a hiring committee made up of only men, there is a higher probability of a bias towards hiring male applicants. But if you have an equal mix of men and women, bias tends to balance and decisions focus more on qualifications rather than appearance. Diverse perspectives help avoid bias and also lead to better outcomes. Now we're going to talk about cultural intelligence. Cultural intelligence is an offshoot of emotional intelligence. In our diverse world, it is crucial to understand and harness the cultural intelligence of our team. It means appreciating and respecting different cultural perspectives. Different cultures attack problems from many different angles. Being open to these less traditional options could be the key to your success. We're going to jump into creativity and problem solving. Creativity and problem solving thrive in diverse teams. Different backgrounds mean more choices when tackling a problem. Experience influenced by one's race, age, or gender bring a wide range of perspectives. Our cultural intelligence helps us navigate through these differences with understanding. Diverse teams are also prevent groupthink, where everyone acts like lemmings and follows blindly. Cultural intelligence helps challenge these ideas, helping to avoid conformity that smothers innovation. Now we're going to connect diversity, cultural intelligence to decision making. Studies like the one from Boston Consulting Group show that companies with a more diversity make more money selling new products. The diverse teams make better decisions on which products to release to the greater public. Cultural intelligence plays a big role in fostering innovation. There's a link to this study and the reference page below. To sum this all up, in the world of decision making and problem solving, having a diverse team is like having a superpower. Cultural intelligence is the compass that guides us through the different perspectives, making sure everyone's voice adds to the team's decisions. Thank you all, and I'm going to pass you on to Rose.
Hi everyone. I will talk about some key considerations in managing teams. How does an individual feel when managing teams? People who have experience leading teams have felt fulfillment when managing or leading teams. The satisfaction when dealing with groups was felt by the leaders because of the arrangements and organizations of each task that members are comfortable managing. With managing a team, frustration cannot be prevented as the group is made out of unique individuals formed to work together. Being able to successfully lead a team that possesses those characteristics is a big achievement because it all happened with the team leader's strong ability to operate a good performing team. Why is managing teams important? Managing teams is important because it is not just about the drive to accomplish the organization's goals and handle their concerns, but it is about the people that are working together to allow the outcome of this goal to be achievable. And what does paradox mean, and what are the other types? According to the article Harvard Business Review by Linda A. Hill, titled Managing Your Team, she talked about the meaning of paradox being the same as managing a team. Paradox is about the team and individual goals and identities. It is what drives both the group collectively and as individuals to success. These can either wreck the team dynamic with the competition that may arise and contrasting attitudes of each member on the team, or lead to an easy flow of work for the group. Having the chances of these issues to develop, the leader or the team manager may need to step in as a mediator to effectively include each member's input to build the collaborative goal. Having this as an example of situations that happens in a team, the primary paradox is to stabilize the differences in goals of each member in the team and shared character and drive to success. And the other paradoxes are promote guidance and converse about dispute with each other, be fixed on good performance and have willingness to expand knowledge, and team manager having enough influence, and team members having the right to voice and decide with their own judgment. And what is the triangle of relationships? It is important to have a balance between each sides of the triangle, the manager, team, and individual. The manager focuses on team boundaries. And an article made by Linda A. Hill, Harvard Business Review, titled Exercising Influence, talked about the importance of managers having a relationship with with the people who are working outside of the team, but to also form connections inside their whole organization. To have an understanding about their impacts, building a power dynamic, and putting effort and time could help maintain relationships with them. The team manager handling the team boundaries can help distinguish if it was successful or not. And team focuses on managing the team itself. To understand how to manage the team, having the elements that could help reach the goal and recognize the achievements as all the process should be incorporated. Having a clear set of responsibilities could help the team be focused and successful to finish the objectives. The most important point about this is to have a good approach and have a support that fits the culture of the organization and the team so that they have a clear vision in where the team wants to accomplish. And an individual, it focuses on shaping the right people as well as the team norms and culture and guidance. Establishing rules to follow would force the members to create a stable and grounded group. This can help prevent future contradictory with each other, and having a guide that will promote a better group dynamic if issues arise. Solutions to these problems could be easily created because of the combined effort to fix the dispute. With this, everyone in the team would have a collective improvement individually and as a group because of having clear expectations, good performance, and strong communication. Thanks, everyone, and I will pass it now to Alex.
Thanks, Rose. Recognizing how teams can develop over time will bring success when collaborating in the workplace. I'll be covering what makes teams develop over time with an explanation of Tuckman's 5 phases of development and conclude with an emphasis on how both leaders and team members can support each other throughout their development. Bruce Tuckman was a psychologist who came up with a theory in 1965 on ways that teams develop over time. He explained that teams go through 5 phases, including forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. It's important to note that these stages do not necessarily happen linear. Teams can sometimes cycle through these stages. Although phases may be shortened, it's unlikely that a phase will ever be skipped. The first stage is forming. It's the shortest phase, the beginning of the formation of the team. Still, everyone feels the need to behave formally. Internalized anxieties may hold them back and have them feel uncertain. The next stage is storming. It's known as the phase of chaos. Team members begin to feel safe in expressing themselves, and they no longer feel the need to be guarded with their responses and their ideas. Personality differences begin to show within the group and sometimes can result in conflict. People start throwing out feelers to see what they can say or get away with and what their position in the project will be. And questions of authority can sometimes arise in this stage. The next stage is norming, which is the group grounding phase. Members begin to feel comfortable with each other and roles seem to be determined. Differences from the previous stage have been resolved and the work really begins in this stage. Members are energized by each other and feel comfortable asking each other's questions and receiving constructive criticism from one another. The performing stage, the team is now resilient and can face issues together with ease. Differences are understood. There's no more isolation as an individual, and the team really becomes able to work together and face any issues that arise. The final phase, adjourning, was not a part of the original theory, but was later added in 1977. And this can be referred to as the celebration stage. It's bittersweet for a lot of the members because they have to depart, but they know that they did a good job and worked together in the team. Now, let's talk about how leaders can encourage development. So now we're familiar with the phases. I'd like to give some examples or knowledge on how these stages can be useful to you, whether you're in a leadership role or as a member of the team. So one way that leaders can facilitate growth is by establishing roles from the beginning. It's essential for them to make everyone's goal as individuals and as a team member clear to avoid any misunderstandings or roles within the group from the beginning, like with the forming stage. They should also make their authority known to reduce any negative reactions to their instructions. They can build off of weaknesses. So, as differences have become apparent, but the group starts to settle, leaders should recognize what people's strengths and weaknesses are, and this will give them insight to move certain people to different tasks or create best practices for the team to grow. And finally, they can maintain morale. So once the team has entered the performing stage, leaders can take a step back from directions and focus more on encouraging the team. They can give the team's efforts recognition for successes and not only focus on what needs to be changed, but also what is being done right to motivate the team. And now I'll talk about the way team members can take charge of their development. So, responding versus reacting. This is especially important in the storming stage. As a team member, you can pause before you speak when you have a different opinion and really consider if what you're saying is an emotional reaction rather than an insightful point before choosing to interact or share in a discussion. You should avoid giving up. It's easy to feel that you made a mistake becoming a part of the team in the beginning or that it may not be a good fit, but identifying where you're at in these stages and understanding that disagreement is a part of the process is important. And finally, being comfortable being uncomfortable. The more comfortable you are being vulnerable, the quicker you can grow from that initial forming stage and get to doing your best teamwork. In conclusion, simply being aware of these phases will help you with any future teams that you're involved in, whether that's a position of authority or as a member of the team. If you stay conscious of these stages and are committed to continuous improvement, you'll have success as a leader and smoother transitions with teams. And I'll hand it over to Jazz for the next topic.
Thank you, Alex. Okay, so good day. I'm Jess again. So the sources of conflict. The first one is due to communication breakdown. This may happen because of unclear instructions, poor listening skills, different communication styles, or lack of feedback. The next one is competing views or goals. This happens if one of the team member is not on the same goal as the whole team. The third one is power struggle. It is when a team member fights for control, influence, or authority. Lastly, is the conflict between different personalities. It arises from the diverse background, perspectives, and behaviors of individual team. Okay, so common concepts of conflict. In general, conflict is considered as bad for teams and causes them to fall off track. It can negatively affect group progress, morale, and relationships if handled poorly. However, constructive conflicts and constructive responses to conflicts can be major development accomplishment for a team. For potential benefits of conflict, it helps the team member to better understand opposing viewpoints by encouraging a greater diversity of ideas and perspectives. It helps a team to improve its problem solving capacity capabilities and highlight issues that need more attention. When the team trusts each other, its member as well as its members' intention, it will emerge from conflict strong and more effective. Okay. Dysfunctions of teams. So first, the absence of the trust. Tactics for developing mutual trust includes facilitating team buildings, exercises, so that the team members can learn more about each other, lead as example, and open communication. Fear of conflict. To overcome fear of conflict, it needs to establish shared rules if it is constructive and respectful. Lack of commitment. Ensure that everyone feels they have a voice in decision and that the in decision that affects the team. Celebrate achievements and track progress. Avoidance of accountability. This makes sure all team members understands what is expected. And lastly is the intention to results. Regularly communicate the value of collective results over individual accomplishments. And then for my last slide, so strategies. The first one is mining. So this is the strategy in a team that is avoiding arguing. One person will takes on the job of finding the problems nobody talks about. They need to be brave and sure of themselves to bring up these touchy subjects and help the team to solve them together. Real time permission is when someone notices that people in a disagreement are getting uncomfortable and steps in to remind that it's okay to have disagreements. This helps the team to deal with conflicts instead of ignoring them. A good team leader is important because they should encourage dealing with conflicts openly instead of avoiding them, which helps the team work better together. Excuse me. In conflict, people can react in good or bad ways, either by doing something or by not doing much. The best way to handle team conflict is by trying to understand each other's viewpoints, finding solutions together, and expressing feelings. Sometimes it's okay to take time to think or adapt to the situation, but it's important to deal with the problem eventually. In summary, dealing with conflict is tough, but it's necessary. Talking about disagreements and understanding different views can help teams grow and do better in the future. It's important to handle conflicts positively for the team's success. In conclusion, thank you for attending our workshop. Please check your email for a survey, handout, and interactive activity.
Thank
Bye.
Bye.
you.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.